Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of My Name is Dad. This is a very special episode. We are talking sports this week, and we have a very, very special guest, Mr. Brody Benson. Say hi, Brody.
Hello.
And just so everyone knows that Mr. Brody Benson is in the 8th grade. He's 14 years old. He's currently single, on the mingle, looking for a girlfriend. So if you know anybody, Mr. Brody Benson is available.
That is not true. I'm focusing on football.
Oh, he doesn't want a girlfriend because he's focusing on football. Good for you, Brody.
Mm-hmm. I'm focusing on high school football.
High school football, Brody is going, he's an 8th grader going into his freshman year, so he is doing some freshman football stuff already. Mm-hmm. Lifting weights, getting strong.
All right.
Trying to pump that iron. Yeah, get some muscles, huh?
All right.
All right.
I have to. If not for the girl, I just have to.
All right. Let's talk about the sponsor, which is Point B Grading and Turfcraft Maintenance, LLC. We provide a lot of landscaping contracting services, especially laser grading and irrigation work and stuff like that. So if you have an issue or you got a project or something going on, look us up at pointbgrading.com, or you can send me an email at pointbgrading@gmail.com. All right. We are talking, it is March Madness, and we're talking NCAA college basketball, the March Madness tournament, one of the greatest times in sports annually, every year. Mm-hmm. So what we're going to do is, Brody and I, we're going to go down, we're going to pick our picks from the first and second round, which is going to be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday games. So the first round, we're going to go through the order in which the games are played. So we're going to go through all the Thursday games. We're going to go through all the Friday games, and then we'll just pick the second round because we don't know what the schedule is going to be for those games.
Nope.
So that is how we're going to do it. All right. Let's start off with the very first game, Thursday morning, 9:15 a.m. Mountain Time, Arizona time. I don't know what time zone we're in because it's just Arizona. We don't do time changes here.
No, we don't.
But the number 8 seed Louisville versus the number 9 seed Creighton. Louisville was favored by 2.5, and we're going to start with Brody on this one. What do you got?
I have Creighton winning.
Yeah, I also have Creighton. Again, I mentioned that Creighton had a really good run last year. They have a 7-foot tall center, and they have a very good guard, and they have tournament experience last year. So I think Creighton can get it done and get past the first round against Louisville. All right, moving on to the next game, 9:40 a.m. on Thursday. We have the 4 seed Purdue versus High Point, a 13 seed. Purdue is favored by 7.5 points. Brody, who are you going with?
I have Purdue. They have a very good player, and they're a good team. I see a lot of people have High Point, but I can't do that.
Again, I'm going with High Point, the 13 seed, my very first upset of the tournament. I hate doing it so early in the tournament, but Purdue is typically, they either go very, very deep, Final Four, National Championship run, or they go out in the first and second round. I think that High Point, I watched them in their conference championship game. They look pretty good. They came back from a pretty big deficit in that game. They look good. I think they're going to surprise Purdue early on. I think Purdue might be sleeping after their national championship run last year, runners-up last year. So let's go with High Point in the big upset, 13 seed. Okay, the next game is Wisconsin, a 3 seed. Montana, the 4 seed. Wisconsin favored by 17.5 points. Brody, you want to go first?
Yeah, I got Wisconsin.
I'm also going to Wisconsin this one. I think it's just too many points. Again, this is one of the ones I really wanted to pick Montana, but I was starting to hear that Montana is the Big Sky conference that they're in was not a very good conference this year. So I think maybe Montana is a little bit overrated 14 seed. They should have been maybe a 15 seed. Maybe they're not as good as they typically are. Montana's usually pretty good at basketball and football, but Wisconsin, I think, is going to take this one. Even though it may be a close game, maybe Montana covers the spread, but I think Wisconsin wins.
I mean, 17.5, that's a lot.
Exactly.
That's a lot.
All right, and the next one is Houston, University of Houston, the number 1 seed, versus this is I can't remember what this is like. Southern Illinois University, Edwardsville. I mean, that's what it is. They're a 16 seed, and Houston is favored by 29.5 points. I'll go first on this one, Brody. I'll take Houston.
Yeah, I'm taking Houston. I don't need an explanation.
I don't think this is one of the ones where a 16 upsets a 1. This ain't going to happen on this one. All right, the next game on Thursday, we have, again, a number 1 versus 16. We have Auburn versus Alabama State, who won yesterday as we're recording. Again, Auburn is favored by 32.5 points. Again, another easy one. I don't think this is the one where Alabama State upsets Auburn, even though there is a little bit of in-state rivalry in this game. Auburn, Alabama, but I don't think it's going to be a factor.
Nope.
Auburn's really good, and I think they take this one easily.
Maybe if it's the other Alabama, but not this Alabama.
Yeah, exactly.
I got Auburn too.
Exactly. All right, next one. We have Clemson, a 5 seed, versus the 12 seed, a 5-12 McNeese. Clemson's favored by 7.5 points. What are you going with, Brody?
I wanted to take McNeese, but I got Clemson on this one too.
I think that's exactly what I'm going to do also.
I was close to taking McNeese, though.
This is in the Midwest region. Let me just take a quick look here. Yeah, I do have Clemson. I think that so now this is a 5-12 game, so a lot of times the 12 does beat a 5. Usually the 12 is like the best mid-majors, and then the 5s are kind of like not the worst of the power conferences. Usually like the 10s and the 7s and the 11s are kind of like the worst ones, the 8 and 9s. But the 12s are usually the best of the mid-major conferences, and they usually give these teams a run for money. But I think that Clemson does take this one. All right, into the East region, we're moving. I'll try to say what regions we're going here to as we kind of move along. In the East region, we have the number 6 seed BYU versus the always dangerous number 11 VCU, and BYU only favored by 2.5 points.
Again, I wanted to take VCU so badly, but I'm not going to force an upset. I got BYU in this one too.
I'm also going BYU on this one too, Brody. BYU has the benefit because they're like a bunch of Mormons, and they all their kids have to go on like sabbatical for a couple years. That these are not like 20, like 18, 19, 20, 21-year-old kids playing on their team. They're like 24-year-olds. They're like full-grown adults.
Yeah.
So I think that little sort of experience, and that is probably, and they're really good. BYU has beat a lot of teams in the Big 12. They're good basketball teams. I think BYU takes it also.
Yes.
Okay. Moving on, we are in the Midwest region. This is the 8 and 9 game. We got number 8 Gonzaga versus number 9 Georgia. Gonzaga favored by 6.5 points. I'll take this one, Brody, and I'm just going to go Gonzaga. I think everyone's picking Gonzaga. I think everyone just assumes that Gonzaga is the better team. I also assume that. There's a lot of SEC teams in the tournament this year, but Gonzaga has made the Sweet 16 like 14 out of the last 16 years or something crazy like that. And I don't know. I don't think they're going to go out in the first round.
I'm going to take Georgia.
Wow.
I like this Georgia team. They have a really good center named Santo. A lot of people know him because he was in like this one high school league. But I like this Georgia team. They have a really good guard. Also Newell, and they have Santo, and I think they're going to come out and beat Gonzaga.
Well, it's an 8-9 game, so it's really kind of like a coin flip.
Yes.
All right, moving on. We have the 2 seed Tennessee, and this is in the Midwest region. Tennessee versus the Wofford, one of the Watford Terriers. I think that's what they are. Tennessee is favored by 18.5. And again, I think this is an easy one, even though Wofford might be the best 15 seed in this tournament. But Tennessee is really good. I even have a bet on them to make the Final Four, maybe national championship. But Tennessee is good. Wofford's good, but I don't think it's enough to beat Tennessee. Tennessee all the way.
I really like this Tennessee team. I think they're going to win, and I do have them making my Final Four.
Ooh. All right. Moving on, we are down. Now, this is a big game. We're in the West region. We have number 7, Kansas, and Bill Self. And I just heard reportedly might be his last year with Kansas. He might be retiring. And this is versus John Calipari and the Arkansas Razorbacks. Kansas is favored by 5.5. This is a 7-10 game in the West region. What do you got, Brody?
I got Kansas. I don't really know much about Arkansas, but every time I watch Kansas play, they have a really good center, and they're just always like they're a good basketball team. I really like Kansas.
I also like Kansas in this game myself. The Kansas is typically never more than a 4 seed. They're like a 1, 2, 3, or 4 every year.
They started off
so
the
them
year
being a 7 is a little bit of slap in the face, I think. And if I just heard that this is Bill Self's last tournament with Kansas, I think they're going to be gung-ho. And Kansas always has 5-star recruits and all this stuff.
Yes.
Arkansas did win a national championship back in the 90s. So they do have a little bit of a basketball pedigree. John Calipari used to be the coach of Kentucky. But I'll take my chances. I'll go with Kansas.
Yeah, I like Kansas too.
All right. In the South regions, Texas A&M, a 4 seed, versus the Ivy League guys, 13 seed Yale. Texas A&M is favored by 7.5.
Again, I really wanted to take Yale, but I have Texas A&M in this one.
Brody.
I know you got. Wait, who do you got?
Let's see. We're in the South here.
South.
Oh, yes. I do have Yale with the upset. These Ivy League schools, they take their basketball very seriously, even though, Harvard, Yale, Princeton, all these smart schools up in the Ivy League, but they take their basketball very seriously. They know what they're doing. And Yale is a very favorite, kind of like one of upsets out there, but I do like Yale over Texas A&M. Give me Yale, the 13th seed. All right, moving on. We have the West region. This is Missouri, 6 seed versus Drake, an 11 seed. And this is Missouri is favored by 6.5 points. I'll go first on this one, Brody. This is in the West. I am taking Drake all the way. I watched Drake in their sort of conference championship run. This team looks good. This team looks legit. And I'm not so sure about Missouri. Missouri, I think, is just another one of these good SEC teams. But Drake, I think, is on a mission. I'm going Drake all the way on this one.
I'm not going to lie. I didn't know much about both of these teams. I know Drake has a basketball background. I didn't know much, so I just took the higher seed. I have Missouri, but I'm not confident on that. I don't know much about these teams, so I just got Missouri.
You just flipped the coin on that one, huh, Brody?
Yes, I did.
All right, next game, we have the 7 seed UCLA versus the 10 seed Utah State in the Midwest region. In this game, I'm taking UCLA. The biggest reason is that, from what I understand, Utah State has a very, very good offense, but they are the worst free throw shooting team in the tournament. So I will take my chances with UCLA.
I have Utah State. I really like them. I like their Mountain West run, and I don't know. I don't really like this UCLA team, but I really like Utah State.
Mm-hmm.
So I got an upset finally.
There we go.
I mean,
a 10 over a 7, huh, Brody?
I've had a 9, but that's a bigger upset. Barely.
All right, well, let's see if Brody can get another upset on this one. We got the 2 seed St. John's, Rick Pitino's St. John's versus Nebraska Omaha, the 15 seed. St. John's is favored by 18.5. Let's see if Brody has an upset pick for us.
I really like Omaha, but St. John's defense is way too good, and they're way too good. I got St. John's.
I am going to go St. John's. I do like this Nebraska-Omaha team.
Yeah, I like them too.
I like them too, just like Wofford, the 15 seed. But St. John's is really good.
They're very,
very good defensively. They're probably going to do some full court pressure and stuff like that.
Yes.
And really kind of mess up this Nebraska-Omaha team. But I don't necessarily like St. John's in the long run because they do struggle offensively.
They do.
But they are good enough defensively to get to first, second, third round of this tournament.
Yeah.
Okay. Another game here. We have the 5 seed Michigan Big Ten champions versus UC San Diego, the 12 seed, another 5-12. Michigan only favored by 2.5. Brody, do we have an upset on your bracket here?
I was going to take Michigan, but I was looking into it, and UC San Diego is really, really good. So I'm going to have to take Michigan on this one. I'm not going to UC San Diego.
Really?
No, all these games, they're really close for me, but I just feel like in the long run, Michigan's just going to come out on top.
So this is a tricky game because UC San Diego, everyone is saying, is the best of like the lower mid-major teams. Like they're like 30-4. They like shoot lights. Everyone on the team is a 3-point shooter. They're just like a scoring machine. They're really, really good. And Michigan just won the Big Ten championship, so everyone likes to fade. If you weren't favored to win your conference championship tournament, and you do, everyone kind of thinks you celebrated a little too early, and you're going to fall flat in the first round of the tournament. So everyone is picking UC San Diego. I'm going to pick UC San Diego. I'm going to go with them just because I like to pick upsets.
You have a lot of upsets.
I have a lot of upsets.
You have lots of upsets.
Especially in the first day. On Thursday, I have a lot of upsets. So that's why I'm going UC San Diego. The Tritons get it done. Beat those Michigan Wolverines who won their Big Ten Conference Championship.
It was close for me.
And the last game of Thursday night is the number 3 seed, the Texas Tech Red Raiders versus UNC Wilmington. Texas Tech is favored by 14.5. Obviously, I'm going Texas Tech.
I'm going Texas Tech by 100.
But there are some people who are taking UNC Wilmington.
Yeah, I saw that.
Because Darian Williams and Chance McMillan have been injured.
Yes, they have.
And they are uncertain for tomorrow's game. And I believe that Chance McMillan is the more important player than Darian Williams for victory. Because Chance McMillan is one of the best 3-point shooters in the nation.
Yeah, but Texas Tech can't get rebounds without Darius Williams.
Well, we still got JT Toppin, who's Big 12 Player of the Year, who is our other big man.
Is he going to be sick this time, though? Because against Arizona, he was sick.
He was sick. But, again, I think JT Toppin's going to be at the top of his game. Xavier Worthy, all these guys. I'm still going Texas Tech, but I might, if you wanted to put a bet on UNC Wilmington to cover the spread, I think this game might be maybe a little bit closer to like a 10-point win or a 9 or 8-point win. I think Texas Tech wins, but I think maybe UNC Wilmington does cover if Chance McMillan, Darren Williams are not 100% or they don't play.
And Texas Tech has one of the best coaches.
Exactly. Grant McCaskin hopping around on that sideline.
He just barks out those refs and the players.
Yeah, he's always chewing everybody out.
The whole game.
I love him. I love a coach who chews everybody out. Okay, let's move on to Friday, Brody. And we're going 9:15 a.m. We're in the East region. This is another 8-9. We have Mississippi State versus Baylor. Mississippi State is favored by 1.5 points. What do you have, Brody?
I've watched a lot of Texas Tech games, and I've watched this Baylor team, and I really, really like them. They're young, they're physical, they're athletic. They have a really good team, and I really like Baylor. So I got Baylor beating Mississippi State. I'm
also going Baylor. I'm going because the coach's experience. The Baylor did get a national championship a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And again, the Baylor team is good, but they are young and inexperienced. But I think the coach can kind of maybe get them through the first round.
Yeah, at least the first round.
Exactly.
And then they have to play.
Yeah, then they got to play Duke. All right, the next game in the East region, we have number 2 Alabama versus number 15 Robert Morris. Alabama favored by 22.5. We'll just say that we'll take Alabama on this one. I don't think Robert Morris has really a chance. Alabama's like the best scoring team in the nation.
Yeah, since last year, I liked Alabama, and they kept a lot of their players. They have maybe the best guard in all of college basketball. I really like this Alabama team.
Alabama is a very good, high-scoring team. All right, next game, the number 3, Iowa State versus 14 Lipscomb. Iowa State is favored by 14.5. This is in the South region. Brody, who you got?
I have Iowa State, but I heard that their best player is like questionable and stuff like that. So I don't have them going in the long run, but just as first round, I got Iowa State winning.
Yeah, I'm with you. Same thing, Brody. I think Iowa State can get it done. Maybe I'm a little Big 12 biased, but Iowa State is a good team. I don't know much about this Lipscomb team. They're a 14 seed. I'm going to just go. I'll take my chances with Iowa State. But again, I don't think Iowa State makes it to the Sweet 16. All right, next one is a 5-12 seed. Here we go. A 5 Memphis versus the 12 Colorado State. Colorado State is now favored by 1.5 points.
I have Colorado State.
Really?
I like Colorado State. I don't really like this Memphis team, but I watched them in the Mountain West Conference tournament, and I really like their team, so I got an upset this time, finally.
Yeah. I'm also going Colorado State. I like another 12 over a 5. Of course, I take a lot of upsets.
Most of your brackets upsets.
I like Colorado State. From what I'm hearing and what I learned, Colorado State, they're a very good offensive scoring team and very good at the free throw line. So I will take Colorado State, another 12 over a 5. All right, next game, Duke, 1 seed in the East region versus Mount St. Mary's, as it is now. The 16 seed, Mount St. Mary's look pretty good. I don't have a spread on this game, but I'm sure it's probably at least Duke is favored by at least 20 points. And I'll just take Duke on this one.
Is Cooper Flag healthy?
Cooper Flag is supposed to play.
Okay. Yeah, I got Duke.
But in this first game, I don't know if it even matters if Cooper Flag plays.
Yeah, if Cooper Flag does not play, they're still going to win by 40.
Duke does the thing where sometimes they will do full court pressure, to start out the game. They'll probably at least do it when after like free throws. And since they have all their players down there, they'll just do full court press and they'll get a couple steals and then they'll be up by 10 points like within 3 minutes in the game or something like that.
Yeah, their whole team's 5 stars.
Exactly. I don't think there's any way Duke doesn't get out of the first round.
Nope.
All right, next game, we have number 7, St. Mary's, and the 10 seed, Vanderbilt, and this is in the East region. St. Mary's is favored by 4.5.
These lower, SEC schools that made it, I don't really like them as much, and I like the St. Mary's team. I got St. Mary's winning.
I think the St. Mary's team is one of the best ones coming out of the West Coast Conference. I think they did end up losing the conference championship to Gonzaga.
Yeah, Gonzaga.
But St. Mary's is good. They had a better record than Gonzaga. Gonzaga was kind of up and down, but St. Mary's was very consistent, except for the conference championship game, which isn't always the worst thing to do, lose that game. So I'm going to take St. Mary's. I think St. Mary's is pretty good and probably give Alabama a run in the next round.
Yes.
All right, next game, we have the number 6 seed, Ole Miss, versus the controversial number 11 seed, North Carolina. UNC is now favored by 1.5 points.
I like this UNC team.
Oh, boy.
They have a really good player. They're starting to get hot towards they made it in their conference tournament against Duke. Almost beat Duke. I know without Cooper Flag, but they're getting hot, and I like this UNC team. I have them beating Ole Miss and making it to the second round.
I absolutely have Ole Miss in this game. UNC, they heard all the people talking crap about them, about how they even make the tournament, and then they won. They kicked the shit out of San Diego State to make it into the big dance. But Ole Miss is good, and Ole Miss, if you don't know, Brody, the last time Texas Tech went to the national championship game, guess who their coach was?
The Ole Miss coach now?
The Ole Miss coach now, Chris Beard. So I'm going to take Ole Miss.
Why did he go to Ole Miss?
Because he left Texas Tech to take the job for Texas. Then he got fired from Texas, and then he got hired at Ole Miss. All right. But I'm gonna take Ole Miss to beat North Carolina, and I think North Carolina maybe it's a little bit of a letdown spot for them since we beat San Diego State. We kind of proved that we should be in this tournament, and that's good enough for them. But I think Ole Miss wants it bad. All right, Brady. Moving on, the 4 seed, Maryland in the West region versus our local number 13 seed, Grand Canyon University, the Antelopes. The University of Maryland is favored by 10.5 points. What do you got in this one, Brody?
I really like Grand Canyon, but they lost all their players from last year, which helped them have a run in March Madness. And this Maryland team is really, really, really good. They have a really good player. I think his name's Derek Queen. I have Maryland. They're a very good team.
Come on, Brody. Take a chance in your bracket.
Nope, I got Maryland.
You gotta pick some sort of upsets here.
Maryland's
I'm going
good.
Grand Canyon.
Maryland's
all
good.
the way. Grand Canyon to the Sweet 16. Come on, Phoenix Locals.
And then
I don't care if they don't have any players from last year. They're good again.
And then
Grand Canyon. Here we
they're
go.
going to lose by 15. They're going to lose by 15. They're going to lose by 15 to Maryland, and you're going to be all sad.
Grand Canyon Antelopes. Let's go.
They're not going to win that. Maryland is a very good team. Yeah, you're forcing upsets now. That you just love upsets. You're literally forcing them.
I love upsets.
You're forcing them. You're forcing them.
All right. If I pick all the upsets and then when it does happen, I'm like, see, I told you.
But then all the ones that don't happen.
All right, next game. We have the number 1 seed, Florida, versus number 16, Norfolk State. Florida is favored by 28.5. This is in the West region. And I think we'll both just take Florida on this one. Florida's really, really good. Maybe the second best team in the nation compared to Duke, in my opinion. But
Florida, they're very, very good, but I think they're the worst 1 seed out of the 4.
Really?
I think they're the worst. I think they're the worst 1 seed. I wanted Texas Tech to have Florida as the 1 seed because I thought they were the weakest out of Auburn, Duke, and Houston, and we did. But they're still a very, very, very good team, and I have them winning, yes.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's move on to the Midwest region. We are now, it's 4:10 p.m. on Friday afternoon. The 3 seed Kentucky versus the 14 seed Troy. Kentucky is favored by 11.5. I'll go first on this one, Brody. This is Midwest region. I'm going to go with Kentucky.
Okay, finally not an upset.
Not an upset because Kentucky got upset last year.
They did.
They lost to Oakland University, and I don't think they're going to let that shit happen again 2 years in a row. So even though a lot of people are picking Troy, a lot of people do like Troy, I'm going Kentucky. I don't think it happens 2 years in a row.
Yeah, Kentucky, they usually get upset, but I don't have it this year. I like them.
Mm-hmm. All right, next one is in the South region. We have number 7 Marquette versus the 10 seed New Mexico. Marquette is favored by 4.5. You want to go first, Brady?
Okay.
Let me guess. You got Marquette?
This was the closest game out of any of them. I wrote down New Mexico, then I reread all of them, and I crossed them out and I put Marquette.
Really?
Cam Jones, I like Marquette. I like New Mexico. I may or may not have made a mistake. I should have stuck to my gut, but I got Marquette. I'm not going to change it again.
Oh, I am 100% on New Mexico. New Mexico is good at basketball this year.
Marquette's good at basketball. Yes,
New Mexico is good. I'm going New Mexico all the way.
Bro, why did I mark them out? I should have just kept them. I already wrote down New Mexico.
Come on, Brody. Let's get some upsets in that bracket over there.
I had UNC making it. I have Creighton.
All right, next one up is the local team, number 4, Arizona in the East region versus the 13 seed Akron, all the way from Ohio. Arizona is favored by 14.5 points. You want to take this one, Brody?
Yeah. I didn't really like this Arizona team until I watched that game against Texas Tech. And I know we had 2 players out and our best player was sick or whatever, but I like this team. Their best player, Caleb Love, is getting hot at the right time. Carter Bryant is getting hot at the right time. I like this Arizona team. I have them beating Akron.
Yeah, I always love to fade or to pick against the Arizona team in these tournaments, especially early. They always seem to be like one of these teams, like the Purdue team or whatever, where they're a bunch of losers. You know, they lose early. But this Arizona team looks like they have a lot of fight in them, especially what was his name? Love.
Yeah, Caleb Love.
Caleb Love looks like he wants to win.
He transferred from USC.
Yeah. So I think that Arizona can get past Akron, even though a lot of people do like Akron for an upset, but I'm going to go Arizona.
Yeah, I got Arizona.
All right. Here we go with another 8-9 seed. In the West region, we have UConn versus Oklahoma, who is the 9 seed. UConn's favored by 5.5. I'll go ahead and start this one, Brody, because I got a take on this one. I am going Oklahoma in the West region. They are a 9 seed. From what I understand, that UConn is one of the best offensive teams in the nation, but not very good at free throws, and one of the worst defensive teams in the nation. And at their conference tournament, they were like getting in a bunch of fights and stuff like that. I don't think they're focused. I don't think they can get refocused. I think they are not happy that they're an 8 seed, and I think Oklahoma takes this one.
Yes. I took every 9 seed. I also have Oklahoma winning. I like them. This UConn team, same. They were just off in their tournament. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I got Oklahoma.
All right, and then let's move on to the 2 seed in the South region. We got Michigan State versus the 15 seed Bryant. Michigan State is favored by 17.5 points. I think we probably both have Michigan State in this one, right, Brody?
Yes,
I don't think you have any 15s over the 2s.
No,
huh?
I love Michigan State. I like them a lot.
Yeah, Michigan State is pretty good.
Very good.
Okay, and then we have the very last game of the day is the number 5 seed Oregon versus the 12 seed Liberty. This is the last game on Friday night. Oregon's favored by 6.5. You got an opinion on this game, Brady?
I got Oregon. I don't really know much.
Not even gonna take a 12, huh?
I
Brody?
have Oregon, but my uncle did just go to Liberty, but I got Oregon.
Liberty is good, but there are times before where I have picked against Oregon, and every time it seems like I pick against them, they go to the Sweet 16. So I'm going to take Oregon.
Yeah.
This is not one of my upsets. Most of my upsets are on Thursday. Not so many on Friday, but I still got some on Friday too. Okay.
You have a lot. You have a lot.
Okay. So let's just go, because obviously our round 2
are going to be different.
So maybe I just go through mine very quickly, and you want to go through yours very quickly?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll start in the South region. I have Auburn versus Creighton, and I'm going to take Creighton. I think, again, their experience can take down the number 1 seed, and they will take down the number 1 seed. So I got Creighton going to the Sweet 16. UC San Diego and Yale. I got 2 upsets playing against each other, and I'm going to go UC San Diego to make it to the Sweet 16. And then we have Ole Miss and Iowa State. I'm going to go Ole Miss because old Chris Beard, yeah, he wants it bad. He wants to show that he is a top coach again, and he's going to beat Iowa State. And then we got New Mexico versus Michigan State. I'll go Michigan State. I will take Tom Izzo and his tradition and program to make it to the Sweet 16. And then in the West, I have Florida and Oklahoma. I will take Florida because I think Florida is really, really good. And then I got Colorado State versus Grand Canyon. And let's go Antelopes, Grand Canyon to the Sweet 16 finally. Then we got Drake versus Texas Tech Red Raiders. This is the easiest pick in the conference or in the whole bracket. Let's go Texas Tech, taking out those Drake Bulldogs. And then I got Kansas versus St. John's. I'm going to go Kansas on this one. Bill Self, make a run. My friend, his last year at Kansas, Rock Chalk, Jayhawk. I think that's what they say. All right. And then now let's go to the East region. We got Duke versus Baylor. Duke, the easy pick. Oregon versus Arizona. Let's go Arizona. I think they can take that one out. BYU versus Wisconsin. Going BYU. Again, they got like 24, 25-year-olds, a lot of experience on that team. They're a good basketball team. I think they can take out Wisconsin. Then St. Mary's versus Alabama. Alabama, number 1 scoring team in the nation. I think they win that game. Houston versus Gonzaga in the Midwest region. Houston, they're really good. They're probably better defensively than they are offensively, but they're good. Then Clemson versus High Point. Let's go Clemson. I don't think High Point can get to the Sweet 16, but I will take Clemson. And then I have...
We never did Illinois versus...
Oh, yeah, Illinois versus whoever is going to be Texas or Xavier. I actually have Texas or Xavier beating Illinois, so that's who I have.
And right now, Texas is beating Xavier.
Okay, so let's just say Texas. I still take Texas or Xavier to go into the Sweet 16 to beat Kentucky in the second round. Even though Kentucky lost the first round last year, I think they only go to the second round this year.
So you have Texas or Xavier making the Sweet 16.
Exactly. Yes, I do. All right. And then the last one in the Midwest region is UCLA versus Tennessee. And I will take Tennessee because I think Tennessee is much, much better than UCLA or Utah State. So let's go Tennessee.
We'll start with the South. I have Auburn versus Creighton. I got Auburn winning. I have Michigan versus Texas A&M. I got Michigan. I do not like Texas A&M in that game. I have North Carolina versus Iowa State. I have North Carolina winning.
Wow. That's your big upset is North Carolina to make a run, huh?
I got Marquette for Michigan State. I got Michigan State. I got Florida versus Oklahoma. I got Florida. I got Colorado State versus Maryland. I love Maryland. I got Maryland winning. I got Missouri versus Texas Tech. I don't need to explain that. I got Texas Tech. I got Kansas versus St. John's. I love St. John's. I got St. John's winning that. I got Duke versus Baylor. I got Duke. I got Oregon versus Arizona. I'm with you. I got Arizona. I got BYU, Wisconsin. I'm with you again. I love BYU. I got them winning. I have St. Mary's versus Alabama. I got Alabama. Houston versus Georgia. Got Houston. Clemson versus Purdue. I have Clemson winning. I have Texas versus Kentucky. I have Kentucky winning. And I have Utah State versus Tennessee. And I have Tennessee winning. I love Tennessee in this. Again, they're making my Final Four.
Okay. Well, that brings us sort of to the end of our episode here.
Yep.
We went through the whole first round, and then we briefly went through the second round. We'll see how it works out. We don't have enough time to record another episode at the end of Friday, so we just kind of make our picks. But we will start all over again next week, depending on how the Sweet 16 Elite 8 works out. We'll make all new picks with the Sweet 16. So we'll see you again next week. Yeah, thank you for listening. We're exclusively on Spotify. You can find Brody on his Instagram.
All right.
With his shirt off, showing his muscles.
No.
He says just hit him up in his DMs.
No.
It's no big deal.
Nope.
And
maybe football coaches can, but not girls.
All right. We'll see you next week for the Sweet 16. Say bye, Brady.
Bye.
All right. Thanks for listening.